It's time to talk Utah State football with the head coach of the Aggies, Bronco Mendenhall, on 97.5 The KSL Sports Zone.
Man, Coach Mendenhall, what an impressive win coming out of Fresno with that victory. How good are you feeling? How good is this team feeling after that 28-17 win?
Oh, man, it's not describable. Just the kids were so happy in the locker room and the coaches, and because they felt like they'd really won the week before against UNLV and didn't have the victory to show for it. But their preparation model all week, the way they traveled, the mindset, and so really the team just doubled down on that and believed it would pay off. 17-7 at halftime, trailing, and kind of just determination in the locker room, not discouragement or despair, but just like, we know this is possible and we can do this. And then, man, 18-play drive and a 12-play drive and a 6-play drive with 3 and outs defensively in between and turnovers, and basically just took over the game in a really hostile setting. And so the way that it happened just added to the celebration in the locker room and the post game, and just really, really fun, and so happy for our team.
I've played in a couple of different games like this, Bronco, and just watching this game, and coming from a defensive perspective, I can walk to the sideline and say, geez, they got 169-yard run and put up a touchdown. And I can walk to the sideline and say, oh, nice bomb down the field, a 43-yard pass just before half. Oh, great. We gave up 2 big plays. We gave up 17 points. We can come together and we can get it fixed in the second half. I've felt that before, but just talk about what the resolve was at halftime and maybe some of the adjustments, if any.
Yeah, it was just the brutal focus on execution, and knowing that with that, neither one of those touchdowns happened in the first half, and the possibility clearly existed, and the kids knew it, right, that it could have been a shutout to that point, and they were determined for that to happen in the second half. And just certainly there was a schematic adjustment or two, but nothing overwhelming, nor did it need to be. Just a couple things need to be shored up, and there was 4 big plays total on the entire day, that's minimal, and it's very difficult to score points that way against our defense. The number of 3 and outs, they were Fresno was, I think, 4 of 13 on third down, 0 of 3 on fourth down, and it's just difficult to win a game when you can't stay on the field. So the defensive kids, not only the week before and the week before, but then this one, they're just starting to play with amazing confidence and production, and it's really fun.
Before you hopped on, I was praising Kevin McGivern. I thought that some of his red zone draw-ups were beautiful. The throw, the double pass to Brady Boyd, the throwback. Just talk about Kevin McGivern and what he's done with Bryson Barnes and some of the pieces that he has offensively.
Yeah, he's an exceptional coordinator, even a better person. He might be just as fine a person before a coach that I've ever just been able to work with. I've just had an absolute blast this year working with him, and consider him a true friend and just someone that I really look forward to his example every day. His innovation, his creativity, his ability to maximize resources, and as a play caller, just super impressed with. And he's giving Bryson every chance to be successful, but he's also giving our team every chance to be successful. And those calls that you're talking about, man, they lead to points. So all of those drives I just talked about where Fresno couldn't get off the field, they all ended up in touchdowns. And that's demoralizing for a defense when you just can't get off the field and it yields a touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. And, Kevin was just ready each time and each drive to answer again, which was to his credit.
Something that I love, especially when you're going up against a 7-win team in Fresno State and you're doing it on the road. And correct me if I'm wrong, because it's not like I watch every single play of every Utah State game, but when I see Utah State on the 2-yard line and I see Fresno State just stacked and ready for the dive, and I see an end-around reverse throwback to Bryson, I don't think I've seen that play this year. And I might be wrong, but what I love, Bronco, is when I can't even reflect on that play and it hits like that.
Yeah, it just caught everyone on the opponent's side flat-footed. So they have an exceptional inside linebacker, and just he was actually here, from my understanding. I didn't get a chance to meet him before he left or transferred before I got here, but he's one of the better players in the league at his position. But I saw during the play him throw up his hands like, what was that? Literally during the play, his arms go up like, how do you stop that? Which is really, I think, how kind of that unit felt at that point. Just like, what's coming next? Like, and when that happens during the play, it's hard to play fast when you don't know where to go.
Yeah. And
he literally on that play just didn't know where to go.
Well, this team has been a blast to watch, and it's tough because when I see a big-time win, 28-17 over Fresno State, I have a hard time reflecting back to UNLV and how tight and close, and New Mexico and Wyoming, and Hawaii, and it's like, man, there's so many. It feels like what ifs, but you put the what ifs behind you. You got one home game against Boise State. Talk about just the preparation and focus, because it's not often we've seen Utah State get those wins over the Broncos.
Yeah, it's just a really cool opportunity to be leading a program where the last game truly matters, and this team has put themselves in that position. And just to go back for a second, UNLV's 9 wins right now, and we outplayed them in every way, shape, and form. And so our team is just growing and becoming and gaining momentum and getting better and better. And so, there's the what ifs and their could haves and the Texas A&M and the Vanderbilt trips and all that. But it all shaped where we are, right? There's no skipping steps and there's no going around, and the results are exactly what we've earned. To now be staged for Boise at home in our last Mountain West Conference game and game before a bowl game. I mean, how can you script that any better? I mean, what an amazing opportunity for this team to close out our first year together. And I'm really excited for them. The game's on Friday, so we're a day ahead, Friday at 2. Our return from Fresno was pretty challenging. So we got we couldn't land in Logan, so we had to land in Salt Lake, and then got on buses. So we got here 6:30-ish, 7 in the morning, after the game, so it kind of felt like the red eye from Hawaii, actually. And so the guys had Sunday to recover, back to work today, and there's really nothing else other than Boise now on a shortened time frame. So we're all systems go at a pretty fast rate right now here. So
just a quick look at conference standings. It's really interesting because Utah State's not out of this thing. It's it really could come down to maybe even a 5-way tie at 5-3. If Boise State loses to you, if New Mexico loses to San Diego State, which is very possible, and then it really comes down to UNLV and what they do against Nevada. But it's crazy to think, Bronco, you're right there with this team.
Oh yeah, we thought that from the beginning. The Mountain West is just wide open, and any one of those, we struggle in the fourth quarter against Hawaii, and we start slow in the first half against New Mexico with the punt return and the safety. Those are all real things that happen, though. And then the UNLV, it's the margins are razor thin, but that's good as well because the margins are razor thin, and we're right there, and we're right there in year one, which is gratifying but also realistic, and I claim the results either way. But we get a chance now to take all of that as a composite and put it together one last time in regular season against a very strong opponent. But it's in the Maverick Stadium, which, I think it's pretty formidable for opponents.
I think this has just been an incredible season, and I'm hoping that you and your team get an opportunity to look back at those wins against Vanderbilt and Texas A&M. So Scotty and I, and Lloyd, we all get up on Sunday after all the games, and we do a podcast and we talk about the Aggies. And one of the things I was reflecting on was this team putting up good quarters and good football against 2 of the top 10 teams in the country. I mean, Vanderbilt and Texas A&M are as good as it gets, and I'm hoping your team can even think back and reflect and say, hey, we stood toe-and-toe with those guys for quarters.
Yeah, we did, and there were moments that got away from us, and there's moments that after both games, and just quite frankly, we were disappointed we didn't win. So we're not playing anyone, thinking that they're Texas A&M or Vanderbilt, and that's one of the strengths of the team. They're gritty and tough, and not intimidated or concerned really about anyone in what league or what patch or what stadium. and that's a really cool place to start from. But I think it reflects the identity of this valley and the people that are here too, and they're kind of up for any challenge and trying to build a team that will play that way and represent them well.
Well, I just on behalf of Scotty, I need to just talk to you about Bryson Barnes, because in that morning podcast that we do, he was just effusive, talking about how incredible just the effort and the energy and the hope and resiliency, and talking about he needs to be the conference offensive player of the year. Bryson just has to continue to put a smile on your face all around with the way he plays this game.
I can't believe that he was my quarterback or is my quarterback in my first year at Utah State. I couldn't pick anyone better. He just is everything I would hope a quarterback to be. Maybe more importantly, as a person, and I've never been more impressed with a young man's toughness and resiliency and determination and leadership as I am with him. And I think I can't say single-handedly because that's not fair to my team, but he just wanted to help this team win in any way possible. And all those drives, I mean, he's pulling guys for first downs. He's hurdling guys. He's running over players. He throws an interception and upends tackles the defensive lineman. It just looked like a linebacker hit. And he just, man, he's exceptional. And so, yeah, it's just been my pleasure to have been his coach and be working with him.
And you know what? I feel like I'd miss an opportunity if I didn't mention Bronson. I know that I talked to you about Bronson Olival a lot, but I was teammates with Kautai Olival, his father, and Kautai is one of my all-time favorite teammates. Bronson pulls down that interception. Just talk about that moment for him.
Yeah, probably the most critical moment of the game, if you have to identify it. It's 17-7, if I remember correctly, and we turn it over. Might be 17-14 at that time. I don't remember exactly, but we've only had 9 turnovers on the entire year, and we turn it over on the 20 in the red zone, and it gives Fresno a chance to separate as the game is, in the second half. And our defense not only goes 3 and out, but it goes 3 and out with an interception. So we don't give up a field goal. We don't give up a touchdown. We actually get the ball right back, which sets up another drive. And pretty cool, of the 9 turnovers we've had this year, only 2 have led to points for the opponent. And so our defense has answered really strongly and sudden change the entire year, which is kind of an unwritten story.
That's got to be a career low for you, Bronco. It's got to be.
Yeah, it's Kevin, our offensive coordinator. It's Kevin McGivern's approach. There's right from the beginning. There's a very clear and methodical way we care for the ball and the way that it's coached. And I think the next closest under the last 3 or 4 years was like 21 here. And yeah, 9 is just. Wow, you have a chance to be a pretty strong first-year team if you're holding on to the football and caring for it like that.
Well, it's just fun. It's fun watching Javen Jacobs explode off that left edge, give you guys the lead. It's fun watching Bronson pull down the interception. It's fun watching Bryson Barnes do these things, and it's just an impressive team, a fun team to watch. It's been a blast seeing what you do in Logan. Keep it up. We're sending all the fans out. We want Maverick Stadium packed with this senior night final game of the year. So good luck to you, Bronco, coming up this weekend.
Thanks so much, and for everything this year. Talk to you later.
Back at you, Coach. Thank you. That's Coach Bronco Mendenhall